Hi everybody, this is Pixel. I'm here with Keith.
Hey!
And today we're going to start a playthrough of Pokemon Fire Red. I'm not sure that I've actually ever entirely played through it. I played Yellow originally, and we decided that we would go for a Nuzlocke challenge, which neither of us have ever done before. So we're going to share that here with you.
Yeah, no, I attempted a Nuzlocke run once or twice before, and it never went well. And when I say attempt and not went well, I mean I started and then stopped.
So for me, this is again the opposite of the way I like to play. I will avoid games where there's any sort of permadeath situation. I don't like that. Loss is not my thing, and I get very attached very easily.
I enjoy that kind of concept, but with Pokemon, it's not a series that I particularly put a lot of time into. So Nuzlocke runs and stuff are something I wouldn't usually go near. But this one should be pretty fun.
So hopefully between the two of us we can kind of get our way through the game, remember what it is we're doing. If you've got any hints or tips, then just drop them in the comments. It'd be great. You know, we could probably play around with some ideas for names. I often get stuck. I'm terrified for standing in front of it and be like, what will I name them? It must be perfect. So any help you can give would be fantastic. Great, so let's get started through all this text.
We're definitely not playing this on an emulator. Absolutely. 100% not. These controls, we're looking at the Game Boy Advance right now in front of us. We've got 19 different kinds of adapters to go from. We all know this. We can skip this. In the world which
I can't
you're
promise
about
you're not
blah,
going to
blah,
see
blah.
that blue screen a ton of times.
That's fine. That's okay. Blah, blah, blah. We're through your adventure. It's dogfighting. We're engaging in dogfight. And here he is. Hello there. Glad to meet you. Oh, welcome to my house.
The text there is so slow it hurts.
If you hold it down, it goes faster.
Really?
Yeah.
It's not going faster.
Press it.
Yep.
There you go. See, so you have to press it to go to the next line, and then you hold it down, and it speeds it up. See, there you go.
That's much better.
Yeah.
I was getting pretty
You
tired.
can do that in every Pokemon game. Please tell me you haven't been just waiting for the text for the last nearly 11, 12 years.
I prioritize getting into the settings and changing the speed to fast, and also I use the B button a lot.
Yeah, the B button does that.
Yeah.
But so does the other button. Are you a boy or are you a girl? Are you some kind of boy girl? Some form of 8-legged man spider.
Okay. Bear with me.
Oh, we're not doing lowercase in this.
No, all
so
caps. All the way.
Great, your name's Pixel. Now, this is my grandson. You hang out with him a bunch. I don't really, because he's kind of a nerd, but you guys have been rivals since you were babies. Remember one time he clubbed you over the head with a Lego.
My issue there is that the professor knows so much and is this huge authority and can't remember his grandson's name.
He only remembers the important stuff. Look at the guy, he's ginger. Yeah, that cuts deep, doesn't it? Doesn't it, Pixel?
Doesn't cut anything.
He's Von Man. Alright. Yeah, it's been a long time since I played this. Was it Von Man? Sure, whatever. He's yeah, whatever. His name's Von Man now.
His name is Von Man.
Yeah.
Now I know what to write on the card.
Thank God this dude lives in the Pokemon world. He's very people would take advantage of him in the real world. He's like, oh, hang on, let me just check your wallet there, old man, and we'll find out where you live.
I was saying I fired on Indigo Leaf. I can't speak. I bit my tongue the other day and I'm still recovering from that.
Oh, yeah.
I fired on...
You didn't bite your tongue, you chomped your tongue.
I was eating a very delicious chocolate bar.
And you got too caught up in it. But you were
While
watching
walking.
the Indigo League?
I was watching the Indigo League. I popped it on Netflix. And in one of the very first episodes, Oak calls Ash in, I believe, the Viridian City gym. And, not the gym, in the Pokemon Center. And he says, your mom just told me you've made it to Viridian City.
Oh, I
Is that
remember
true?
that.
And he's like, well, Professor, if I wasn't in the Pokemon Center, I couldn't answer you. And
I
there's
remember
a whole
that,
moment,
yeah. He's like, is that true? You're there, are you? Are you there, Ash? I'm like, well, yeah, I'm here talking to you right now. But, like, in fairness, I've had that happen plenty of times to me in real life. Like, I remember for, like, a school trip, we had to go to this other, like, center, and I rang from the center, and my mother was like, oh, did you get there okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm calling you from there this minute.
Yeah.
But I suppose it's not as easy as, like, he's literally called the Viridian City. He called him. So for him to be there, and that's the weird thing for me, is like, it's like whenever you see in movies when someone hears a phone booth ringing, or like a public phone ringing, that stuff just doesn't happen. It doesn't happen in real life, and whoever came up with it is an imbecile, because it's just never happened. I've never seen it happen. And on top of that, like, what I did like was, like, why is Oak chatting to Ash's mom? He's very suddenly getting very friendly with them. I mean, we all know Mr. Mime is
Stop right there.
the companion to the
Let's
life
not
companion.
talk crap about Mime.
Mr. Mime, yeah, he'll get us. He'll find us. Mr. Mime is terrifying, and they've only made him more terrifying in Sword and Shield.
That's it, when he's there inside. What's the name of that city?
The Snow City towards the end of Sword and Shield.
No, the city where the Mr. Mime is.
I don't know. There's a city where Mr. Mime is. Is it full of Mr. Mimes?
Well, you played the game at the exact same time as me, and
Sword
there's
and
a
Shield.
mime in the middle of the street, and you can't get past because all the goons are stopping you from getting through.
Oh, I do. I remember that, and he's actually made a wall.
where Pierce's
yes,
gym
I
is.
do. Yeah. No, I can't think of it right now, but I will think of it. Yeah, Pierce's gym, the only one that doesn't have the Dynamax stuff. Charmander's nickname, Paladin. She's called that because Pixel plays a Paladin in D&D. At least her current character is a Paladin.
I don't have a lot of experience with the game, unfortunately. I've never gotten too far into the campaign.
Yeah, we've done a couple of adventures, but yeah, not too much. Mine would have been barred. And I'll take this one. The one that yours is weak to. Because I suck. You can move now. There you go.
Yeah, and first things first.
You'll get a... Oh, you're going fast text?
Oh yeah.
How funny would it be if he just crits you?
Stop.
He doesn't even use tail whip or
As you know,
anything,
I've
or
had some
leer.
experience
He
with
just whoom.
crits.
See, that's it. It adds an extra, like, little
Mucking
bit
me
of-
over.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You got absolutely mucked by those crits. So pushy as always. But again, they're having a Pokemon battle. Like, at least the one thing I did appreciate in Sword and or not in Sword and Shield, because I only played a little bit of Black and White. Like, the one thing with it is I fell out of love with Pokemon for a little while.
It's dangerous to say that here.
I know it's controversial, but I am back. I'm back with Pokemon. But I started playing Diamond. No, Pearl. I had Pearl and my brother had Diamond, and I just didn't enjoy it. Like, I didn't get past the first area. Like, we'll say I didn't even get to the first gym. There was just something I didn't enjoy, and I never got back to it.
Platinum's probably one of the games I've played the least, but I really enjoyed it, and I thought the difficulty level was actually that bit harder. And Cynthia was an absolute boss.
But that's it. I haven't even seen any of that. Like, I've seen the memes and stuff, but I haven't seen much more than that. Woo! You beat him, level 6. Woohoo! Now the thing with Nuzlocke runs. So as everyone knows, just to go over the rules really quick. If you don't know, then what are you doing here?
And Keith, you've got the Google box there if
I
we
do.
need additional information, because there are
Got it.
optional rules. I think there's only 2 main rules for a Nuzlocke.
I've got it pulled up here on my Teflon. The Nuzlocke rules. I'll pull up the actual official ones. But basically, you have to name your Pokemon to make it worse when they do faint. So the whole way it goes, it introduces permadeath to it. So any Pokemon that faints in combat is considered dead and has to be released or put into the Pokemon storage system permanently. You can only catch the first Pokemon encountered in each area and none else. If the first Pokemon encountered faints or flees, there are no second chances.
Now, if I encounter something here, it's completely okay to just mash it because we don't yet have Pokeballs.
Yeah, that's one of the rules. So now the two main rules, the two actual rules, are the two I just read out. That if they faint, they go to the PSS or they get released, and you can only catch one. You can only catch the first encountered in each area and none else. But one of the optional rules, but it's optional but near universally used rules, is that the game doesn't start until you get Pokeballs. Now with that
means I could have also lost to Gary, or as we've named him, Von Man.
Yeah, and you could have come back, or you could have died at any point there, and you could have saved and reloaded. But the run starts once you go to the Pokemart up here, and he'll send you back to Professor Oak, and then you get your Pokedex and your Pokeballs from Professor Oak, and that's where the Nuzlocke run starts. Now the other ones as well are that if you black/white out, it's considered to be game over. And again, like I said, you have to nickname them for the sake of forming bonds. Now, if you do have a double battle, I don't think there are any double battles in this game. Wild double battles, I should say.
I think the first Nuzlocke was it Ruby, Sapphire, or Emerald?
It was Ruby. It was Ruby and Sapphire, I think. But yeah, it was Ruby and Sapphire that the first one did, so there were double battles in that. But you have to choose which of the two Pokemon you'd like to catch. Now, if there's a static encounter in the area, you are allowed to capture them despite already having captured a Pokemon in that area. So if there's an encounter that's just there in the game, it's not a wild encounter, but it is an encounter with a wild Pokemon, it's just planned out, you can catch that. And shiny Pokemon are also exempt from that rule. So even if, we'll say, you encounter your first Pokemon in an area, you catch that, and then immediately after you encounter a shiny, you can still capture the shiny. They're exempt.
It's also okay, I believe, to accept Pokemon from NPCs.
Strongly implied, though not explicitly mentioned in the comic, is the stipulation that the player can use only Pokemon they've captured themselves, meaning trading or traded Pokemon, mystery gifts, etc. are prohibited. Trading and retrading the same Pokemon is something of a grey area and may fall under optional rules. Yeah, there doesn't seem to be any rule against not taking those Pokemon. Now, there are other optional rules that you...
We can go through them, but I think for the first run we won't be implementing too much to up the difficulty level.
No, we'll stick with the cookie cutter basic stuff, I think, for now, and we'll do the rest later.
We just want to survive.
Now, with that as well, I think the main thing that I had in terms of misgivings about Pokemon was just I didn't feel like it was for me. I know that sounds silly, but I didn't feel like it was for me when I was playing it, and I got into a bunch of other stuff.
So let me know in the comments if you would like me to execute Keith.
Well, no, because the story being, I got very much into Pokemon when I was younger. I got absolutely hooked on it. Played the heck out of Silver.
Oh, I think I have Pokeballs.
You do? You have Pokeballs now?
Oh no. I mean, I love Rattata.
You can catch the Rattata. Hit him a slap.
Wait, he's level 2. Maybe I shouldn't have hit him a slap.
Okay. You got him. You can catch him
he's
with
tough.
that now.
Or Paladin's terrible. It's one or the other.
Yeah, I played Silver. Silver was the first Pokemon game I played. And then I went back to Yellow. And then I played... I actually played Sapphire before I played Ruby. My brother got Ruby. And the way we worked it out was that we both got our Game Boys. Like every time we got a new console, we'd both get one at the same time, and we'd have to pick which one we wanted. And the inverse was that if we'd basically come to a compromise where I'd end up getting something and he'd get the other thing. So I got the console I wanted, but he got Ruby. So he got Groudon, I got Kyogre. So that was my first one was Sapphire.
Its fangs are long and very sharp. They grow continuously, so it gnaws on things. So it gnaws on hard things to whittle them down. I'm calling him Shredder.
Sweet.
Her.
Shredder. But yeah, and then with that,
Lady Shredder.
I ended up kind of coming around to it. But Soul Silver was the last Pokemon game I proper got stuck into. And that was, well, before I fell out with it. So like I got stuck into Soul Silver, and then I kind of skipped out on Diamond, Pearl and Platinum, and then I skipped out on Black and White and Black and White 2. even though from what I've been told, they do seem like the kind of games they change the paradigm kind of Pokemon enough. And then I was in hospital for a good while. I skipped out on X and Y and a good portion of the Pokemon games, pretty much up to that. And yeah, then I went to hospital for a while. I was there for the bones of I think 5 days, and I didn't sleep for 3 of those days. And all I did was play X. And I completely just fell in love with it. I just poured my whole time into it, and then that's made me want to retroactively go back and play the other games.
We're just gonna heal up.
I do love that Pokemon Center music. The music for all the games are fantastic.
My first game was Pokemon Gold.
Nice.
I had a little see-through
Also, we had the
Game Boy
inverse
Color.
games. I had the same Game Boy Color, and I had the
Yeah.
same one, the see-through one.
I always kind of picked the warmer, earthier tone.
Yeah, but see, I wanted gold. Like I said earlier, I wanted that Game Boy.
Mm-hmm.
So I got my Game Boy, but I had to take silver. Because my brother, we ended up swapping it that way. And I ended up actually liking silver more. I played both, and I just enjoyed silver more.
I think I have played a little silver. I'm not really certain. At the time I played Gold. I then bought Crystal as well, which I loved.
Mm-hmm.
It was so cool to have a Pokemon sprite jumping about on the screen then.
That was cool, and that was fantastic.
Yeah,
to
you
have.
felt really special, like you were truly chosen by Suicune.
Well, I loved following after them, like hunting the legendary dogs, and that was something that they did really well. I found when they remade the games, was hunting them, because I love that feeling of actually tracking stuff down. When a Pokemon game makes you feel like a Pokemon trainer, it doesn't just feel like an RPG. It feels like you're actually going after it. I love that, and I think Silver, even though I loved X, really enjoyed playing X, Silver and Soul Silver really just captured the whole Pokemon vibe for me a whole lot more than anything else, I think.
They were great games.
Though I did enjoy Sun, because that was it. After I played X, I really wanted to get Sun and Moon, and I enjoyed
Why am I
Moon.
using Scratch so much? I'm losing Stab.
Yeah. Be burning them.
Burn, baby, burn.
I think even though I fell out of love with Pokemon, got
You
back
need to stop
into it.
saying that. I'm
Fell
going
out
to
of
kick you
love,
off.
fell out of love. But I did, like, the best part was, one of the funniest things I was only thinking of it the other day, is a lot of the best times in Pokemon, a lot of the best times kind of life-wise that I've had were with Pokemon. I remember when Soul Silver came out and everyone was running around with their Pokewalkers, back when I used to go to anime
never had
conventions.
one.
You never had a Pokewalker?
No.
They were fun, and like I'm hyping them up, but they were a gimmick, like they were cool, and I enjoyed them. But the way it ended up going, you can move your moves?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah, sometimes you end up like, if there's a move that I'm going to be spamming the most.
You just put it right there at the start.
Yeah.
Saves you time.
I can make mistakes
That's
really
a proper
easily.
speedrunner tactic right there.
Yeah, Pokemon Center, continuous access to Pokemon Center. I did a little bit of a short test play before this, and I did not realize just how easy it is to lose a Pokemon.
Yeah, they die the whole time. I did a thing. We had a technical difficulty. I did a thing. I apologise.
Keith is the technical difficulty.
I am the technical difficulty. Yeah, no, Nuzlocke. These are harder games, though. Like I feel like it's not incorrect to say that it is definitely a harder game.
I think so as well. I'm gonna do a few switcheries. We've got a really, really, really low level Rattata.
Oh, so you're gonna dip in, slap, and then
Yeah.
switch out? Yeah, you don't have XP share these days.
She is weak to everything at level 2. Like, nothing comes up lower than level 2.
So you're just gonna pop in and switch it out.
Yeah, I have to switch out, yeah.
Okay. Well, we can edit together anyway. If with training, there might be points where we speed things up or cut things out. If we're
Maybe we
grinding
won't
for a
have
while.
to, because conversation never runs dry with you.
Yeah, I
Oh no!
Oh, what? Oh,
You know
God,
what I was
switch
going
out,
to say just
switch out.
before this? Don't let me keep. Sometimes
Switch
I just
out, just
automatically
swap.
keep fighting with the
Swap.
first Pokemon.
Oh my goodness.
So much for switching out.
You almost lost Shredder before you even got
You
out
know
of
what?
Viridian.
Shredder is impressive. She withstood those tackles.
My goodness. But no, I really enjoyed seeing people running around in the conventions I used to go to with their DSs and their Poke Walkers. I've never been a big competitive Pokemon player. Like, I always get the games, play them, and I never really... Like, I used to battle with friends, but I never really engaged in that side of things.
No!
Oh, no!
I think maybe you talk too much. I've got to blame somebody for that.
You can't blame me for that. Oh,
Man.
no. You lost
Okay,
Shredder.
I need you to make sure I don't do that. So, in my trial run, I managed to get to Pewter with only Paladin because I let every other Pokemon die, and most embarrassingly, they died. All of them died in just wild encounters.
Oh, that hurt to see. Oh, that hurt me.
You know, it
Look,
did hurt.
You can catch one on the next route. You can catch something on the next route.
Well, that's what I thought last time, and there's only so many times you can say that. Paladin is gonna end up seriously overleveled.
Oh my goodness. Well, I think, you know what, this is a good time to call it this time. So yeah, I think while we're leveling up, we're gonna mourn that loss, and we will see you in the next video.